It's me, Ryan Carr. I'm a professional stunt double. I work on the TV show Chicago Fire. I've worked on The Exorcist. I was the stunt double for The Exorcist. Who are you?
I am Natalie Arteaga, a professional film and television actress here in Chicago, also a screenwriter and director on the Chicago SAGAFTRA local board.
And we are here on the Ryan Carr Show live. Yes, last week we had a couple of audio issues. We're just figuring out how to use this green screen. It's amazing. We bring you the stunt news, we bring you the union news and the entertainment update right here from our undisclosed studio location. Okay, we're not telling you guys where we are. This is our secret studio.
Live.
Actually, live. If you guys did want to make a comment or something or contribute in some way, somebody know how to use a green screen? We're just kidding, okay? Right now, you guys can't tell what's going on. We are filming. We are filming on this green screen. This is just a special thing just for you guys down there at Facebook. We got a great show planned for you today. My producer, Bob Beck, the voice of Chicago, he's joining us inside the booth. He's working all the magic in there. He always tells the truth. He's checking the facts and he's breaking the backs. Right, Bobby? Let him hear you.
Good afternoon, everybody.
There he is, Bob Beck, voice of Chicago. I wanted to start off the show today with a little segment called What Qualifies You? Okay, what qualifies you, Ryan Carr, to talk about the stunt news and the entertainment industry and the union news? Well, I've actually narrowed it down to 5 things, okay? Number 1, nobody else in Chicago is doing it. Nobody else is coming on here live and talking about the stuff that's important, are they, Natalie?
No, they're not. They're not doing it.
Okay, I have a degree in acting. I'm probably one of the only stunt people around in this town that actually got a degree in acting from the University of North Carolina School of the Arts. Super duper long name. You try training there. It was like 6 days a week. I've been a union member for 10 years now, and I went to all of the meetings. I went to every single local meeting this year. How many did you go to? At least you're watching the show. And I'm volunteering. Natalie and I, we're not making any money off of this. We're here giving you guys free information. We want to help. Write something down in the comments. Hit us up. Email us. Super accessible. The way that I met Natalie was I answered one of her emails. And then, lo and behold, we made our own TV show. So, Natalie, talk about yourself a little bit. I could just go on and on and on about myself, but Natalie's actually a very important person here locally in Chicago. Talk to him about the board. Let's talk to him about the union for a quick second here.
Sure. Well, I've been a film and TV actress here in Chicago since '08. I've been a proud union member, and I'm just finishing up my first 2-year board service term. I've just been reelected for another 2-year service as a convention delegate and as a director on the board. I've worked with Karen Gaviola. I've done Chicago Fire. I did Batman v Superman with Zack Snyder. And so these union meetings every month are the things that I'm going to be helping report on. We've got a lot of stuff for you today.
See, the thing is, people don't actually take the union stuff too seriously, but they should. They really should, okay? There's things that people don't really get involved in, like a committee or a caucus. What's the difference between a committee and a caucus, right? I mean, it's like, they're these words, it's really just a group or a meeting where you can make a difference. You actually can talk to some people.
Right.
What is the difference between a caucus and a committee?
Right. So when you see an email saying that there's a caucus on this date at this time, basically that's just a meeting. So when we say we're going to have a background caucus, it's just a meeting for background to kind of congregate and talk about background issues, wants, pain points. A committee is the body of people that make up the committee. So they're the people that talk about certain issues if there's a conservatory committee.
But anybody can come, right?
For
a committee?
For the committee, we have to populate the committee. So if it's a committee if there's a stunt committee, that committee should be populated by stunt professionals that are part of the union. And that's their time, that's their place to talk about the industry, anything that's going on set, off set. They're supposed to have that safe place to congregate and to air it out in the union setting, under the protection of the union setting.
So let's say you're too busy to go to the meetings. Well, it's a good thing you're watching this show, because we're going to go over some of those important things. It's an election year. Things are happening nationally. We talked last show about membership first and unite for strength, the key differences between those two factions, right? Factions.
Correct.
That are in power right now in our union. Those are the people that make the big national decisions about the contracts that we work, okay? We're going to get into contracts a little bit today. We're going to go over the history of SAGAFTRA. It's actually incredible. I woke up this morning, I had a lot of coffee, and I went on Wikipedia. And I tried to figure out everything that I possibly could about SAG-AFTRA. I mean, why don't we just talk about it? SAG-AFTRA was started in 1933. SAG.
Before merger. Screen Actors Guild.
Started in 1933. I didn't even know they had movies back then. That's pretty long time. That's almost 100 years. It started with 6 people. Okay? 6 people that were actor producers. That means that they weren't just actors. They're people like me and Natalie who actually make our own shows and our own content. Those 6 people turned into 18 people. Those 18 people turned into 80 people. And the odd thing about it is none of the popular actors, none of the big name actors actually wanted to join SAG. They didn't know what these guys were talking about in their secret little meetings of 6 people. Then all of those 80 people, those members and producers, they had another secret meeting and they made an agreement amongst themselves not to bid competitively for talent. So what that means is instead of undercutting each other as actors, as producers, as whatever, they agreed we're all going to work the same contracts. We're all going to work for this same rate so that none of us end up going hungry. When they did that, those 80 people turned into 4,000. 4,000 people in 3 weeks. So the real thing is that SAG exists not to just help established actors, but to help all the actors. All the actors, whether they're established or not, okay?
So the whole concept of that, just so you guys know, and this came up in the negotiating room for our recent TV theatrical contract, is that no less than. So when we're talking about our travel provisions or we're talking about exclusivity or we're talking about anything else, we always have to think of 1, the entire membership, and number 2, no less than. So no performer can work for less than the basic minimums that we require to do our jobs well and safely and to be compensated fairly for it.
So now what makes things complicated is there are so many different people in the union. We've talked about it before. We have the puppeteers, we have the voiceover people, we have the background actors. Every single one of these positions is important. When we go and negotiate a contract, all those people have to be taken care of. Now, what's confusing is that within those different groups, different people have limited levels of information. They all need to go to the meetings. If you don't go to the meeting, you don't know anything. I did over 300 film and television shows as a background actor. Over 300. I went on so many different film and television shows, and that to me was my on-set, on-the-job experience of learning about the different divisions, what a camera guy does. Oh, there's different unions. There's the 476 and these guys and grips and electrical and everything else. There's so many different people, but we're all part of the same tribe, right? I recommend that when people start off doing things that they do spend time doing background work, that they do get that on-set experience. If they don't, I hope you went to some type of training, some type of acting school. Maybe every once in a while there's that person that runs away from home at 18 years old and they become a star. But for the most part, you want to reward the actors that are invested in the acting community, right? Go to the meetings, guys. Go to the meetings.
Go to your local union meetings, please.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about SAG-AFTRA. Why don't you give them the union update while I collect myself over here? I'm getting a little riled up, guys. You never know what Ryan Carr's going to say on his crazy live TV show on Fridays.
I know, that's what I'm here for.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Bob. Without you, well, we couldn't exercise any restraint.
What about me?
And Tully.
Oh,
guys,
Tully.
forgot to tell you, my best friend and roommate, Tully Bertorelli. He's the salt of the earth. This guy's got his own band. It's called Billy Club Master Chef. It's incredible. Tully's a talented guy, and he's actually working in the booth with Bob today. If we can figure out a way to switch my computer camera thing around, you guys are going to get the whole 360 experience. But union update.
Sure. So it's a big year. We have our biennial convention this year. That's October 4th, 5th, and 6th. We're going to have caucus meetings. Remember, those are just meetings. So this caucus is going to meet the 24th of August and the 29th of August. Now,
Wait. Okay, so caucus, not a committee. The caucus is meeting on the 24th and the 25th for...
24th of August and the 29th of August for convention.
Convention. Caucus, convention, committee, lot of C's.
Lot of C's. So basically, convention is where we can amend, delete, change anything of our Constitution. So if there's something you guys don't like, you can download it off the website, read the whole thing in full, and this is the time to change it. If there's something you don't like, now is the time. It comes up every 2 years, and it's a big thing. August 31st is when submissions are open, so you can do that. They close on September 6th. Now, not everyone can attend this caucus. That's an important thing to note.
Okay.
Only the people that you have voted as convention delegates are able to attend this caucus. I am one of those delegates. So.
Natalie's one of the delegates, so if you have a problem, or not even a problem, you have a question, you have an idea, you have to reach out to the people that are representing you.
Yeah, so you can look on the website for a list of all the convention delegates that were voted in this term, or you can just reach out to me. I'm right here on Facebook.
Live on the Ryan Crush Show.
So basically, any member at large can write a resolution, but it has to meet certain criteria in order for it to be seriously considered. So that's why we need this time ahead to work on it. There's a couple of things that I'm going to be submitting as resolutions, so we'll be updating that in future episodes to come.
And that's on a national level. So
yeah, that's our national constitution for everything.
That's everything. Really, on the show here, we care about the local Chicago level. That's important to us. That's where we feel like we can make the biggest difference. But just so you know, locally and nationally, Natalie will be there representing you guys. So how many phone calls do you get, Natalie, of questions, ideas, and everything besides me? I mean, how many people actually reach out?
Not many, but there's like a few. It's like sporadic here and there.
Okay.
So moving on to like the local part of this, September 19th is our Constitution Committee. We need to repopulate this committee, so come on in.
Would you like to join the Constitution Committee for SAG-AFTRA? I bet you there's even food there, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
There's food.
Oh my God, Christine gets great food. Kathy brings great food. It's actually a good meal. So that's when we meet to review our local constitution. So you can download the Chicago local constitution. It's very similar to the national constitution. It all works. But if you want to change anything there, September 19th, make sure you're there, or make sure you reach out to me or Christine. Staff. So, this is kind of like the fun part. So we have some claims that came through, some commercial corp ed claims. Now we've recovered, this is your local staff in Chicago has recovered $68,000 total in money for members.
Locally, that means that people like Natalie
like
and I,
us, literally like us.
We're in a commercial
all
or something, all of us, and then they keep using the run of that commercial, and magically we don't get paid for it. Well, locally, our Chicago local staff
gets us money.
That's
what they're there
hard.
for. That's what they're there for. They're there to protect us, get us money. So basically, that was divided among 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 12 performers, 12, 15 performers, $68,000.
Lunch is on them.
So it was Hitachi Wellness, TBWH, Yacht Day, Avis Budget Group. Now, these were all claims brought from members. So that's you guys kind of reaching out, calling, Christine or Kathy or Sean, Sean on the phone saying, hey, I saw my commercial, but I'm not getting any money. That's kind of how I met Sean initially. They were airing my commercial. I was not getting the holding fees. I was not getting my residual. So Sean was able to recoup thousands of dollars from me. And that's exactly what happened with all of these performers. So we've reclaimed $68,000 in session fees, residuals, late payment fees, H&R contributions, pension healthcare contributions. So that's a really great win for us. So if you see any staff member in Chicago, just say thanks
Thank
or
them.
just talk to them about it, because I'm always really proud when they report back. And this is all information that came from the board meeting we had this past Monday. So that's kind of very, very current. 4 waivers came through for cancer treatment, U.S. Forest Service, FEMA, preparedness, and the Illinois Department of Health. I guess there's like a Zika thing going out.
So let's explain. What
that's
a
right,
waiver is, what a waiver is too, is like, because those people are doing good work in the world, they're allowed to use actors basically for free that are involved in that.
It's like a public service announcement type thing, or that kind of thing. So, yeah, 4 waivers came through for great causes. So,
if you're interested in those causes, go ahead and help those people out.
Yeah, if you want to help people, you can get the waivers. You can put that through. Gil Hayes talent breaking up. So Kathy Byrne is working with them through that process. I'm sure some of you are talent and you're going through that. The Harold Ramis School is walking through that process as well to do some events, working through their student contracts. So students out there, if you're working with student contracts, it's always good to just read it online or use the app, the SAGAFTRA app. I've downloaded it. It's a great, beautiful piece of design. And then the Lawyers for Creative Arts are having 2 events in September, one for low-budget contracts and the other one focusing on pre-union talent. And so that's all for me on the union update side. If you have any questions, please type it in, message me.
That's the union update. If you got any questions on any of that, drop us a comment. Oh, did somebody comment on something? Oh, there's Jim. That Bob Beck
Dude rocks.
Well, thanks, Jim. You're right. He does.